Hello and welcome to episode 43. I'm Susie Beiler, and before we get to the channeling, I'm just going to share a little bit about how to restore ourselves if we've been attacked or if we've been exposed to lower density energies. Someone asked a question about, some of the more negative energies that they are experiencing, and instead of actually asking Prime Creator, I thought maybe I'd handle this one. The first thing that is really important for us to do is to set healthy boundaries. And so my intention is always that only the purest, highest vibrations that are aligned to me are allowed to come into my field. And so that intention alone helps tremendously. Now, there are times that I experience what you might call an attack, and while I don't like to give this a lot of energy, it is real, it does happen, and you need to know how to deal with it. The first thing that I usually do is I call my mentor and let him know what's going on, and then he can assist me with clearing out my field. Because sometimes when I'm in the middle of it, when I'm in the thick of it, it can be a challenge to do it on my own, and I believe we're here to help each other, so I don't have to do it on my own. Thank you. So when I reach out for help, immediately something shifts, and that's just the way it is no matter what's occurring. When you reach out for help, something starts to shift right away because you've taken that step to get the assistance that you need. So I would encourage you to find a practitioner or someone who is experienced in dealing with these sorts of things to assist you. And this is after you've set the healthy boundary for yourself. And then you can also do, energy clearings on yourself, where the words that Prime Creator gave us about releasing implants and programs and such. I don't remember the episode that's in, but it's pretty simple. I release all programs, patterns, imprints, and implants that no longer serve my highest good. And you could add all dense energies or all energies or whatever you feel is right for you. But you can create your own little kind of a mantra that you say over and over again. And the more you say it, the clearer and the better that you feel. The other thing to understand is that what could be happening is any density that is within you may be coming to the surface for you to release and transmute it. And sometimes it's hard to tell whether it's something coming from external or something coming from internal that's ready to, come to the surface and be released. Especially if you are an empath and you're also ultra sensitive, you may actually be feeling the density and the patterns and the programs coming out of your being. You may be feeling all of that as you are releasing. And so it's a high level of discernment to know, is this something that is coming into my field externally, or is this something that's coming from within me that I'm just feeling as it's being released? And I've experienced that quite a bit over the past year, where I began to realize what I was feeling was actually density within me that I was releasing, and it was just coming to the surface. And because I'm empathic, it's in my awareness, I feel it as it's releasing. And so it's very powerful to just say, oh, this is what I'm releasing now, and to let it go and transmute it as it's on its way out. There is a lot of information in my course, my online course, Empath to Integration, where I talk about these kinds of concepts. So if that's something you're interested in, if you're an empath and you're ultra sensitive and you want to know how to navigate these sorts of things, there's lots of great information like that in my online course. Okay, thank you for all the questions that you have submitted. We're not going to ask all of them. I'm really trying to keep focused on our ascension path and what's really helpful in our journeys, not just mind candy, not just, things that kind of tickle our brain, but what is really, truly helpful on our paths to ascension.
A viewer asks, what are the current spiritually powerful geographic places on Earth?
It is wherever you are, my dear one. Yes, you might call this a cheeky answer. But what is now occurring is that wherever you are as a light worker, this is a geographically powerful spot. Because you are embodying so much light energy, because you are connecting this energy with Gaia, anywhere you are is a powerful spot. This is beautiful news, as this means that wherever you might travel, these energies go with you. And so if you are one who feels called to light up the earth grid, as you travel, these energies go with you, activating the land upon which you travel, activating the people with whom you interact, even at an energetic level, with no direct interaction. You do not believe this about yourself, dear ones. It is not required that you believe, for it is happening with or without your belief. And I thank you for being willing to embody the energies, to share them with Gaia, to share them with each other.
Viewer asks, is there a responsibility to protect Gaia? And if so, to whom does that responsibility belong?
Perhaps there would be a better way to describe this. Understand that Gaia knows how to protect herself. What is being asked of you is to work in harmony with her. This is the calling of all upon this planet. If you wish to perceive it as a responsibility, this is okay. And what is more important to understand is that the desire of Gaia is to have the cooperation and harmony of all beings upon her. For sometimes with the understanding of responsibility comes obligation and lower vibrating energies. What is of higher vibration is when there is a true desire, a passion, a love to assist Gaia in her journey, in her process.
A viewer asks, is the sun a light being or matter, or is it both?
The sun is as you are, a light being, also composed of matter. Indeed, the sun is a beautiful light being. Containing great energies of power, compassion, and light. More than you can imagine, dear ones. Always shining for your assistance. Even when covered by the clouds, the energies of the sun are coming to your planet to assist. A guide in your galaxy. The sun brings beauty and illumination, codes for navigating your journey, rejuvenation and restoration of the physical body. The sun has the power to soothe your emotional body, to strengthen and balance your mental body, and to saturate your spiritual body with light. A great light being indeed. Thank you for this question.
A viewer asks, can each person create a tangible multiverse?
Yes, dear ones, and most of you are not ready yet to fully see and experience the multiverse you are creating. In a recent transmission, I shared how there is a new matrix that is being created for your new reality. And what is unique about this matrix is that it harmonizes each of your creations. What is unique about this matrix is that one person can experience a reality in their multiverse, while another experiences a very different reality in their multiverse. But because of the harmonization abilities of the new matrix, you can coexist on the same planet. Because this new matrix is of much higher vibration, only those creations that are aligned to the highest good of all beings will thrive. Those creations that come from ego, that come from lower density, that come from greed, etc., will not be able to thrive in this new matrix. Yes, it does have some fifth dimensional energies, but it goes well beyond this, dear ones. It is being created so that it is set up for infinite growth, exponential expansion. So while this matrix that you currently understand would break, if there was so much growth attempted, your new matrix is fluid and flexible. It is being constructed for exponential expansion. Thus, you can still be in the matrix, but move beyond it. You will understand more of this as you experience teleportation, dematerializing and rematerializing. For the new matrix will be able to support such experiences. You might say it has a buffer built into it, so that you move out of the matrix, and as you come back into it, it will be gentle. It will be easy on the body system. It is not set up by galactic technology, as some of you are familiar. You are the ones creating this, dear ones. You, the light workers, with your intentions, with your heart desires, with your soul knowledge, that is unconscious in some ways to some of you. You are the ones constructing and creating this new matrix. And so if you wish to teleport, if you wish to do magic, if you wish to do telekinesis, and these other things that you know are possible, all of this will be supported by your new matrix. You will be able to move in and out of it with great ease. Many of you are already experiencing the beginnings of this new matrix. For some of you have been constructing it for quite some time. You will be the first to benefit, dear ones, to experience increased health, increased ease, prosperity. Those experiences you have longed for and known were possible upon this planet. The freedom that you have longed for. All of these codes are being constructed in the new matrix. In some ways, it will be less of a matrix than your current matrix experience. I am using the word matrix to assist your understanding that there is a structure. It is not random. It is carefully constructed and planned out. It is carefully executed. It is quite beautiful from this perspective, filled with light and love, benevolence and peace. Your cities of light, as some of you have understood, are now coming to fruition within this new matrix. I thank you for your diligence, dear ones.
What is the reason that we are moving into a different matrix experience instead of moving into experience without a matrix?
Yes, dear one. There needs to be some structure, because Earth will still be quite material. It will still be a physical experience. While at times you will not experience the body in the way you experience it now, you will still have that opportunity to experience the body along with all the other things you desire. And this level of physicality requires structure. It requires a grid network. While this new matrix will mostly be a light grid network, or a grid composed of light, it still requires structure for it to function.
So is matrixed energy always required for navigation within physicality and laws of physics?
The laws of physics as you know them, yes. However, you will be experiencing new laws that are new to this planet. Some of you have been in realms where you have experienced these different laws before, but they are new for this planetary experience. As you expand, as you evolve, less and less of matrix technology will be needed or useful. In some ways, you could see this as a transition. Remembering that you are constructing this matrix for infinite and exponential expansion, which could mean that at some time it is no longer needed at all. That is a very long ways away, dear one.
Would this completion of this experience with a matrix be when an individual goes into realms without form?
At this point, it becomes more and more of a light matrix, less and less physicality. But there is still structure, even when one is in light form. Remembering also that your souls truly do want to be part of this planetary journey and experience. That is why you are creating the matrix, so that you can move in and out, so to speak.
A viewer asks, does Prime Creator feel emotion?
Not as a human being does, dear ones. In your definition of love, you assign compassion, you assign an emotional feeling. I am simply the highest energies of love and light. I do not need emotion to assist my navigation. I do not need emotion to give me feedback about my experiences. I simply am love and light. Nothing else is required within this understanding.
A viewer asks, Prime Creator, how do you define the ego?
The ego is that part of you that assists you in navigating your experience as a human being. For not all beings have an ego. Humans in particular, because of their level of evolution, need tools such as emotion and ego to assist their navigational experience. Now, if the ego is not integrated within the human being, it can become like its own entity, directing the human, taking over in some cases. Because of your free will and choice, this was allowed to occur. However, this was not the original way to use this tool. The original use was as a navigational tool to assist you in knowing how to move through this experience on planet Earth.
Is there any advice in ways to bring the ego into integration and alignment with the soul's path?
Yes, dear ones, you must be centered within your hearts. And from this place, to command the integration of the ego into your heart. To place it in service to your heart and to your soul's mission. In this way, it can strengthen and empower your soul's mission.
A viewer asks, do you recommend that we love everyone and everything unconditionally?
Of course, dear one. What else is there but love?
A viewer asks, as the highest vibrational substance, what is love?
It is all that is, dear ones. In some ways, it is quite undefinable. For how can you define an energy that just is? It is like attempting to understand who I am as Prime Creator. It is not an intellectual understanding, dear ones. The knowing of love is something that comes from within your hearts. For truly only the heart can know what love is.
A viewer asks, what is the difference between the soul and the I am presence?
The soul is, and the soul is, and the soul is. The I am presence has iterations. It is an aspect of the soul. That in the grand perspective of things, is more fluid than the soul. It changes and adapts depending upon your incarnation. It is something that humans especially would benefit by being aware of and by cultivating relationship with. For light beings, etheric beings, are much more integrated with their I Am presence in general.
Is the I Am presence the highest embodied form besides the state of being of a soul?
Ideally, yes, ideally it is embodied. For many, however, it is not. And this is part of your ascension journey, to embody your I Am presence, to be in the awareness of your I Am presence rather than the awareness of the unintegrated ego.
A viewer asks, what are the differences between spiritual bodies, etheric bodies, astral bodies, light bodies, and what is the purpose of these bodies?
A light body and etheric body are mostly the same thing, dear ones. The astral body is used specifically for travel. It is an aspect of your being, and many experience this in their dream time. It does travel throughout the multiverse. This is different from a light body or etheric body, as those bodies are not equipped for travel. When you are in light body or etheric body form, generally speaking, you are in one general location. For example, as you are on planet Earth. You are not zipping around the multiverse in your physical body. And it is the same with the light body. There is generally one location within the multiverse where this body resides for a period of time. The spiritual body is part of the human body. It is a layer or a level of the human body aspect. It is that part of you most attuned to energies and what you would call spiritual realms. The purpose of the spiritual body is to assist the human body, the human being, the human aspect in the ascension journey, in the soul journey of expansion while in human form. The purpose of the astral body is to gather information for the human aspect, or for the light body aspect, as light bodies have astral bodies as well. And so, for example, if a light body is in a certain location and wishes to gather information or communicate with another location, it will send out the astral body to complete this task.
A viewer asks, what is the importance of conscious communication with one's higher self, soul, and source?
The importance of this type of communication is for your soul growth, for your evolution as a human being, for your ascension path. For as you integrate the wisdom into your human form, You are growing and expanding.
A viewer asks, what is the difference between conscious creation and divine timing and destiny?
Well, this depends upon which level of conscious creation where you are functioning. For true and deep and integrated conscious creation is aligned to what you would call destiny. It is aligned to what you would call divine timing. And so there becomes no difference at all. If you are at the beginning stages of your conscious creation, you may not factor in surrendering to divine timing, to what you would call destiny. For destiny is your soul's understanding of what you are creating. The relationship between your soul and destiny is very strong. And so when you are at an integrated level of conscious creation, all of these things flow together and there is no difference.
Is there anything else Prime Creator would like to share with those watching this video at this time?
As we have discussed before, dear ones, many changes are occurring at this time. You will see many more changes. The falling away of the old paradigm, the rising up of the new paradigm. Each of you are key creators in this process. And so what is most helpful is to focus upon your creations of light. More of you are beginning to do this with more confidence, with more trust, and I thank you, dear ones. The more you trust, the more you have access to this new matrix, where you can create anything that is your heart's desire. And when you create from your heart, in alignment with your soul purpose, the power of your creations are amplified. No, you do not yet understand your full power. You do not yet understand how capable you are of creating this shift. You are beginning to get glimpses, however. Trust your creations. Trust your heart. Trust what you are setting forth. Yes, the energies coming to your planet are continuing to intensify. Those of you who have released and transmuted much from your being are now beginning to quite enjoy these energies, to truly thrive and rejuvenate in them. Those of you who are still working with release and transmutation, I ask you to be gentle with yourselves, to stay committed on this journey. For the more you are willing to release, the more you will experience your heaven on earth. I thank you, dear ones. You are cherished in my heart. I thank you, dear ones. You are cherished in my heart. Thank you for tuning in. Much love.